Hey there, Neddy here, and I'm back with a new art book video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Oge, also known as Neddy. I'm a concept art student at Sin Studio Montreal and an extreme art book enthusiast. I've made a few art book related videos on my channel already, and I just always have so much fun making these videos because I just love talking about art books. Unfortunately, after moving to Canada, I had to leave most of my art books back in my country because, books are heavy and very expensive to transport. But today, I have a few new art books that I'll be adding to my current collection that I can't wait to share with you. And maybe at the end of the video, you might consider adding them to your collection as well. Full transparency though, all the books I'll be showing in this video were sent to me by 3D Total for free. I do work alongside 3D Total as an interviewer. I help them interview artists for their YouTube channel and Instagram. But if you've watched my past art book videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of 3D Total long before I started working with them. So this isn't like some sort of promotional video or something. I just want to share these art books because I just love talking about art books, and 3D Total just happens to be one of my favorite publishing companies. And in general, their books are just such high quality and yeah, just amazing books all in all. So even though these books were gifted to me, this video is not sponsored and these are all my honest opinions. If there's any book you're interested in getting, I'll leave the links to all of them in the description below. Starting off with the first book and the only art of book out of all the books I have today, we have Prism, The Art of Cosmic Spectrum. And this is such a stunning book, guys. Like, I gasped when I saw this book. If you don't know who Yana Bolgach is, she's an artist who goes by Cosmic Spectrum on the internet, and she's just a phenomenal artist. I've been following her work for so long now, I can't remember. I just love her work, and when she announced her collaboration on this art book with 3D Total, I was so excited. I can't tell you guys how excited I was. I even got to interview her regarding this book, and you can watch the interview on 3D Total's channel. But all I can say is this book is just a work of art in itself. From the title, the meaning behind the title, to every single page. Of course, Yana's art does carry this book, but in general, this book literally reflects her personality and kind of her aesthetics. If you're familiar with her art, you know that she has this kind of dark academia, scrapbooky, journaly aesthetic, and it kind of reflects in this book. You can tell they really dug deep into Yana's mind just by the layouts, the spreads, the arrangements of everything. It just literally screams Yana. It literally is a reflection of her mind, and I absolutely love that. I love art of books. My first ever art book was The Art of Haikala, and I just love being able to see an artist's personality reflect on a book. And I love it when you're able to find out more about the artist on a personal level, because to be honest, Instagram doesn't show enough. And I just love art books because it feels so personal, especially when it's very detailed and really reflects the artist's personality a lot more. I think that's why I always love art of books. The spine is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see here, it's the most beautiful spine ever. It's just so beautiful. This on my shelf looks so pretty. I can't tell you guys how pretty this looks. Of course, reading about Yana's backstory, how she became the artist that she is today. This one also comes with a really cute art print of her OCs, Heijin, and I forget the other girl's name. In the book, she talks about her relationship with art. She shares her art process, both digital and traditional. She also talks about her future plans for her upcoming comic. So just a little bit of a teaser right there. I think this book is gorgeous, and if you're a fan of Yana and her work, I highly recommend it. Moving on, the next two books actually are part of a series called the Artist Master Series. If you're not familiar with this series, basically 3D Total partners with different artists and they come together to share some thoughts, knowledge on a given topic. I've mentioned on this channel multiple times how I love using art educational books to study art. I know it's not for everyone, but personally, it's one of my favorite ways to study. I just love flipping through a book and learning so much knowledge because I feel like art tutorials and art videos just don't go as in depth as how I would like when it comes to studying the fundamentals. So I always love using art educational books, and these two books, guys, solid books. Okay, so the first book in the series is Color and Light, and I've already mentioned James Gurney's Color and Light multiple times. I tell everyone that's my art Bible, and I still stand by that. But this book takes it like 3 steps further. It might be a bit intimidating for beginners because at first glance it does kind of look and seem like a science textbook because it's very technical. Like, you know, they talk about like refraction and like light waves, and it gets very technical and into the nitty-gritty, but I personally love that stuff. Some people might say you don't need to know every single thing. I feel it makes it easier for me sometimes, but it's all up to you. But regardless, it also talks about like color and light, like the general aspects and the more familiar aspects of color and light. But it explains it in a very, very consumable manner. Like, it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like you're reading a physics textbook. As you can see, it's really hefty and it's not something you can like go through in one sitting. Like, this book is big. It's heavy and big. But it's such an amazing book. The artists featured are Charlie Pickard, Jamila Kanoff, Guiz, and Nathan Fawkes. There's also a gallery featuring other artists like Haikala, Devin Ilkert, Asha Ladovska, Pernille Erm, Beatrice Blue, and a few other artists as well. There's some gorgeous art in this book. Like, every single page is stunning and very, very in-depth, as you can see right here. Kind of science booky, but still very, very in-depth. Trust me, it's very, very in-depth and not overwhelming at all. Moving on to the second book in the series, we have Composition and Narrative. I just got this one recently and I was so excited for it because composition and storytelling in my art is one thing that I desperately want to improve on, and I'm so excited to finally have this book because I can tell this book is going to up my game. For artists featured, we have Devin Ilkert, Nathan Fawkes, Joshua Clare, Dom Lay, and Greg Rutkowski, if I'm pronouncing that right. Apologies if I mispronounce anyone's name. This is kind of like a running joke on my channel. I kind of just butcher everyone's name and I'm very sorry about that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Anyways, back to the book. So far, just by flipping through, I can tell this book is going to be so helpful and so informative. I can tell it's going to be so in-depth. The art alone is beautiful. Like, the featured artists are just amazing. The book explains the basic compositional rules like the golden ratio, the Fibonacci spiral, rule of thirds. It also talks about how you can use color, light, and value in composition. It also shares about narrative in the history of art, storytelling in illustration, different types of narrative, building narrative techniques. And there are also some tutorials in this book by all the 4 featured artists. There's also a gallery similar to Color and Light featuring some other artists like Sheen Lay, Haikala as well, Guiz, Jessica Wolf, Izzy Burton, and a few other artists. If you struggle with composition and storytelling in your art, then I highly recommend this book. Like I said, already looks so good, already looks in depth, and so far I've been impressed, honestly. So definitely check this out if you're interested. The next book I have, I think it's a series, but I'm not really sure actually. And that is A Guide to Digital Painting in Procreate. I think it's a series, I'm not sure, but this is the only one I have in this. If it is a series, this is the only one I have. And I'm so excited because this one is A Guide to Digital Painting in Procreate, Landscape, and Plein Air. And I'm so excited, guys. Like, I've always wanted to get into Plein Air, but I'm very lazy, one. Until the weather in Montreal is kind of like... So, but this one focuses on digital plein air. So like, I can just stay indoors with my iPad and do some plein air studies. Isn't that great? That sounds like perfect. So I'm really excited. Learn how to use the powerful Procreate app to paint captivating landscapes and atmospheric environments directly on your iPad screen. That sounds very appetizing. Apparently this book is a tutorial-esque kind of book, so it basically has step-by-step projects that you can follow along from 10 different artists. And looking at the content, each project is very different and very diverse. We have one that's a rocky beach, one that's a cityscape, Malibu sunsets, different types of like sceneries. So it really has a nice range. The artists featured in this one are Mike McCain, Eric Elwell, Jojo Liu, and Jennifer Wang. So phenomenal artist, of course. I really like the idea that it follows you step by step, I think that really reduces the pressure, and you can start off here doing the follow alongs, then eventually branching out and doing yours from scratch. It also includes downloadable resources at the back, so if you want to make excuses that, oh, I don't have the right reference or I don't have the right brush, guys, they provide all that. You can't make any excuse at this point. Yeah, I'm really excited, really looking forward to that, and can't wait. If you want to improve your landscape paintings and plein air, then I recommend this book. And last but not the least, I wish I had more to share with you guys, but alas, I only have 5. The last book is Push Your Creativity, and I think this one is very similar to their previous book, which was what is it called? The Field Guides to Witches. Sorry, I had to check my shelf real quick. So yeah, I think it's very similar to The Field Guides to Witches in the sense that it's basically a bunch of artists given a prompt and they have to show their process from the iteration stage all the way to the final piece. I really like this idea because you kind of see the behind the scenes that most artists don't usually share. You can kind of see their thought process, their ideation phase, and how they carry that idea to a final concept. This one focuses more on storytelling, and I really like that. I'm just going to read the back for you real quick. Discover multiple renditions of 5 well-known tales, from research and sketches to rendering and revisions. Informative step-by-step tutorials, review techniques and tips that will help you push your illustration skills to a new height. Learn what makes an effective fantasy illustration and compare different artists' visions side by side. Featuring Fatima Bluebirdie, Tony 8 Camel, Croy Lynn Hubble, and Origin. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna leave everyone's names on the screen regardless. I am so sorry, and I apologize dearly if I butchered their names. Not if, I definitely butchered their names. But yeah, I am really looking forward to reading this book. I really enjoyed The Field Guides to Witches, and this one is based off fairy tales, which honestly warms my inner child because I loved reading a lot of fairy tales growing up. The illustrations are so whimsical and magical. Like the one for the Pied Piper. Oh my god, I gasped. I also like that it chose different artists with different styles, so you have a range of styles in this, from more illustrative semi-realism to more stylized and graphic, and it provides a range for anyone and any style you want to execute in. So very nice indeed. Some of the illustrations in this book are gorgeous. Little Red Riding Hood is beautiful. They also provide tutorials and explanations alongside everything, so you don't have to feel overwhelmed. It doesn't feel like all those tutorials you see where it's just draw an owl or draw a face. You guys know the one I'm talking about. Where it's kind of just one step and then finish, add details or something. But yeah, really cool book. I recommend this for anyone who's interested in kind of diving into the process and trying to understand how an artist thinks, comes up with an idea, and executes that idea into a final piece. Highly recommend. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. I love sharing art books with you all, so I'm very excited to show you guys all these new art books. I'm very excited to read them and add them to my collection. Once again, if there's any art book that you're interested in, I'm gonna have all of them linked in the description, so you can just head over there and check it out. If you also have any art books that you would like to recommend, please leave them in the comments. I always love getting new art books. Anyways, I think that's about it for this video. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Feel free to leave future video recommendations in the comments below as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.